In July 1984, three youths brutally attack a young gay man named Adrian Mellon and throw him off a bridge, where both a bully and Adrian's boyfriend see a clown then appear. Adrian is found mutilated, and the teenagers are arrested and charged with his murder. When a string of violent child killings begins in Derry again, an adult Mike Hanlon, now the town's librarian, calls up the 6 former members of the Losers Club to remind them of their childhood promise to return if the killings start again. Bill is now a successful horror writer living with his actress wife, Audra. Beverly is a fashion designer, married to an abusive man named Tom Rogan. Eddie runs a limousine rental company and has married a hysterical codependent woman similar to his hypochondriac mother. Richie Tozier is a disc jockey. Ben Hanscom is now thin and a successful, but lonely, architect. And Stan Uries is a wealthy accountant. Prior to Mike's phone calls, all of the losers had completely forgotten each other and the trauma of their childhood, burying the horror of their encounters with it. All of the losers agree to return to Derry, except for Stan, who kills himself in terror of facing it again. Quote, "The losers meet for lunch, where Mike reminds them that it awakens roughly every 27 years for 12 to 16 months at a time, feeding on children before going into slumber again. The group decides to kill it once and for all. At Mike's suggestion, each person explores different parts of Derry to help restore their memories. While exploring, Eddie, Richie, Beverly, and Ben are faced with manifestations of it. Eddie as Belch Huggins and childhood friends in leper and zombified forms. Richie as a Paul Bunyan statue. Beverly as the witch from Hansel and Gretel in her childhood home. And Ben as Dracula in the Derry Library. Bill finds his childhood bicycle, Silver, and brings it to Mike's. In the meantime, Audra, who is worried about Bill, travels to Derry. Tom arrives as well, intending to kill Beverly, and Henry Bowers escapes from the mental asylum with help from it. Henry confronts Mike at the library, but Mike escapes alive. It instructs Henry to kill the rest of the losers, but Henry is killed while attacking Eddie. It then appears to Tom and orders him to capture Audra, bringing Audra to its lair, where Audra becomes catatonic, and Tom drops dead in shock. Bill, Ben, Beverly, Richie, and Eddie learn that Mike is near death and realize they are being forced into another confrontation with it. They descend into the sewers and use their strength as a group to send energy to a hospitalized Mike, who fights off a nurse that is under the control of it. They reach its lair and find that it has taken the form of a giant spider. Bill and Richie enter its mind through the ritual of Chud, but they get lost in it. Eddie injures it by spraying his asthma medication down its throat, but it bites off Eddie's arm, killing him. It runs away to tend to its injuries, but Bill, Richie, and Ben chase after and find that it has laid eggs. Ben stays behind to destroy the eggs, while Bill and Richie head toward their final confrontation with it. Bill fights his way inside its body, locates its heart, and destroys it. The group meets up to head out of its lair. And although they try to bring Audra and Eddie's bodies with them, they are forced to leave Eddie behind. They realize that the scars on their hands from their blood pact have disappeared, indicating that their ordeal is finally over. At the same time, the worst storm in Maine's history sweeps through Derry, and the downtown area collapses. Mike concludes that Derry is finally dying. The losers return home and gradually begin to forget about it, Derry, and each other all over again. Mike's memory of the events of that summer also begins to fade, as well as any of the records he had written down previously. Much to his relief, and he considers starting a new life elsewhere. Ben and Beverly leave together and become a couple, and Richie returns to California. Bill is the last to leave Derry. Before he goes, he takes Audra, still catatonic, for a ride on Silver, which awakens her from her catatonia, and they share a kiss.